Hey everybody, Ben in Beta here, and 2023, we had to say goodbye to that year. We're into 2024, and I wanted to just kind of give you an update on some things that might be coming this year to the channel. So as you can see here, I've got a number of things that we'll definitely be reviewing here on the channel this year. We have a geyser shower. Remember that I tried out the Kakadu shower, ended up returning that one. Hopefully this one works out better. We actually need this for one of the things I'll talk about a little bit later. We also were able to pick up an Iceco APL 55 fridge freezer combo, which I'll be doing a first impressions video on early on, and then as we use this throughout the year, I'll give a kind of update on how it's working out. But we did get to try it out a little bit on a trip back from Wisconsin. So again, I'll give first impressions on that. Over here, we've got some other kind of cool stuff. We have a flex stack pack system, which I'll probably be using to build out some things for overlanding and storing all my stuff in. Also for garage storage, so just kind of give a review on some of that stuff as we build that out and build the system for storage. So those are just a few things here that I'll be able to talk about this year. There'll be many more. The other thing that's pretty cool this year is we'll be getting the new Tacoma at some point. I don't know exactly when that's going to happen. Right now, I'm kind of on the short list at our local dealer, but they actually haven't sent out any Tacomas that even meet the minimum criteria that I'm looking for in the truck so far to our area. So not sure when it'll happen, but it'll happen at some point. Once I've got the Tacoma, I'll definitely be giving a first impressions review, and then I'll continue to update that over the course of the year. And then I can do some long-term reviews as well, like at 1 year and 2 years. Hopefully I'll also be able to get you some impressions from my wife and what she thinks about the truck, although she's not a big fan of vehicles in general, so we'll see how that goes. Then once we get the Tacoma, we can start our overlanding build. And that's gonna take most of the year, but as we add components to that, I'll definitely be updating the channel with what I think about what we've bought, why we've chosen that, and if it's working out or not. Another series that I'll be creating once we get the Tacoma is a series on a coating I'm gonna put on the paint. In the past, I've used a glassparency graphene coating on my vehicles, and I've liked that a lot. I did pick up the Cerakote ceramic coating, and I was planning to put that on the truck. I may still do that, but apparently there's been some issues with it not curing properly. The president of the company has said that they'll send out new bottles to people who purchased that, so I may wait until I get the new bottles of that, just to make sure that it all bonds correctly and it's gonna work for multiple years. That's kind of the benefit of those coatings, so I want to make sure that if I'm going to take the time and effort to put it on, it's going to work. Then we have two other special series this year. In July, Misty and I and a couple other people are going to be renting some vehicles from Peak Overlanding, and we're going to take a multi-day trip up into the flat tops to kind of just get an idea of what we might want to put on our vehicles and just learn a little bit more about the overlanding life. And we want to just start with some vehicles that are already pre-built. We had already planned that trip last year before we decided to purchase a truck this year. But we're going to go through that trip anyway, and I think we're going to have a really good time. One couple that's going has zero experience with overlanding, and they're just renting this vehicle because they would not have any other kind of vehicle that would actually make it. And then our other friend would maybe have a vehicle that could make it, but he wants to also try a vehicle that's completely built out to kind of get some ideas on what he may or may not want on his. And that brings us to the other special series. Along with our Tacoma and Buildout for overlanding, our good friend Brian, who you've seen on the channel a few times before, is going to be building his Jeep out this year. And it actually has already started. He just recently bought a tent, so we're going to do a review and kind of walk through of that tent and how that works. And as we build out our vehicles throughout the year, hopefully we're going to be able to get together a little bit later in the year and actually test one vehicle versus the other. I kind of joked with them lately that he has the tent and the vehicle to go overlanding, and I've got all the gear. But eventually, hopefully we'll both have everything we need, and then we can kind of compare our builds and see which one we like better in certain areas, which one works better in certain situations. So that'll be kind of a fun series too. So anyway, 2024 is shaping up to be pretty cool. I'm definitely gonna have videos in other categories too, including some other drone videos. I think I'm gonna take some time and get my Part 107 certification, just because I think that'll be useful in the future. And I'll probably do some videos in and around that. And then I'll be adding more drone content as I use the drone more often, and definitely with our overlanding videos. I'll also probably be doing updates on our solar battery system, and we may be adding some components to that this year. So that'll be kind of fun too. So anyway, that's what I have in store for 2024, at least for what I know. I'm sure there'll be lots of other content that's created this year too, but I'd love to see some comments on what you might want to see this year and what you might want to see more of or less of. So feel free to drop those comments. Remember to hit like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, live your life in beta, and we'll see you next time.